What's up, y'all? So there's a video on Bourbon Bougie's channel, and it's been circulating TikTok, of a woman whose husband was throwing things at her. And I think she has two daughters, and she, from what I understand, was unalived by this man. I don't know the full story. I got triggered watching a few minutes of that video, and I clicked off. But if you want to watch that video or get the full details, go to Bourbon Bougie, either here on TikTok or on YouTube, and get the story. Now, the one thing that I did know from watching the video was I read the body language of that woman. She knew that he was about to get violent, and she started walking around the table. And that let me know a few things before I even heard the rest of the details, and I didn't hear them all. It told me two things. It wasn't the first time he put his hands on her, and if she had her own resources, chances are she would have left probably the first time that he put his hands on her or got violent with her. She has two daughters. They told the daughters to leave out of the room or whatever, so the daughters are used to it as well. That is what I gathered from it, okay? And it triggered me because I grew up in a huge family where a lot of women were beaten. They were hit, punched, strangled. A few women were unalived by their husbands, the men who are supposed to love and protect and honor them. And I'm going to keep saying this because I say it on almost all my videos. When you give a man the power to feed you, you are giving them the power to starve you. Okay? So for those of you women out there who want to be trad wives, want to be stay-at-home wives and mothers, want to be passenger seat princesses, and want to rest in your femininity, I'm telling you right now, it is going to cost you. What is going to cost you? Who knows? It's either going to cost you your dignity, your sense of independence, your sense of self-sufficiency. It's going to cost you. It could cost you your health, your livelihood, and for the very unlucky women, it will cost you your life, depending on a man. I'm trying to tell y'all, when you decide to be lazy and you decide to give in to these narratives about being a trad wife and all that stuff, I'm telling you, it is going to cost you later. Because when these men cheat on you, leave you, or get violent, start belittling you, start weaponizing their money, and things of that nature, that is when you're going to suffer the consequences of not taking the steering wheel, if you will, of your own life. You came in this world by yourself, and you're leaving by yourself. I'm going to say that on just about all my videos as well. I say it all the time. You're not leaving here with your kids. You're not leaving here with your husband or your family or anybody. You're going to leave here by yourself. So if you came in the world by yourself and you're leaving by yourself, why would you be lazy about your life, your health, your livelihood, the livelihood of your kids? Why would you put those very important things in the hands of another dying human being? That man is going to die one day. That man will leave you one day. That man could try to unalive you one day. That man could go to prison. He could be hit by a car. He could become a paraplegic. Anything can happen. And you hedged all your bets on this one dying human being to take care of your whole life, to supply you with money and resources and a place to stay and a roof over your head for your kids. Why would you do that? Now, I'm not victim blaming this woman at all, but she's a cautionary tale as to what not to do. Sitting around depending on a man is going to cost you, okay? And nowadays, because more and more women are showing these men that we don't need them and we never did, these men are becoming more and more unhinged. More and more women are being unalived. And especially in our community, the numbers are super high. And they're going to become more and more unhinged. And the only way you're going to leave this earth, quote unquote, with a man is typically the man is going to put a bullet in your head and then he's going to put one in his own. And then y'all are both going to be unaliving at the same time, right? Even then, you're still going to go to your own caskets and your own holes in the ground. And I'm just going to lay it out flat to you. That's what's going to happen. You have got, ladies, please, you have got to take responsibility for your own life and the lives of your kids. Stop with this whole I want to be a trad wife narrative and you don't have your own backup emergency account or something. You don't got nothing going for yourself. You don't have a degree in something. You don't have a backup career, nothing. And you just want to sit at home and fold socks forever? I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not saying that women who are stay-at-home wives and mothers don't have a hard job. It's hard. But what makes it even worse is that you're not even getting paid for it. Then you turn around and you're doing all of this sacrificing. You turn around and ask your man to buy you something, and he might tell you, no, we can't afford that. Or you don't need that, right? And you guys think this is cute. You think you can flex on other women like, oh, I don't even have to work if I don't want to. I had a friend that, we're no longer friends. We were friends for about 13 years. She used to sit around all day. I got up and went to work and went to school. And I technically didn't have to work either, but I work because I'm not stupid, right? I'm not finna depend on no man. But she was sitting around like, I don't even have to work if I don't want to. And she said that all the time. And I'm like, girl, you have no skills. You have no degree. You have nothing. You've just been a stay-at-home wife and mother. And she was trying to like sell t-shirts and do all that stuff, which is fine. But none of that stuff is consistent, and none of that's going to pay your bills when the shit hits the fan. Well, fast forward some years later, her husband divorced her. She didn't divorce her husband. He divorced her. She was crazy, by the way. But I'm just saying, right? And now she's out here living piddle to post. I heard she moved from different houses like 3 or 4 times in like a year or two, right? Who does that? That's somebody who's not stable, because you sat around thinking that man had to take care of you because you had one kid with him. And she had kids from previous relationships or whatever. But I'm like, and I tried to tell her, and women like that think we be hating on them. And I'm like, girl, ain't nobody hating on you. Okay? Nobody's jealous of you. No woman in her right mind will ever be jealous of a woman who can't stand on her own 2 feet, because you're depending on a man, and that man taking care of you is only always going to be dependent on how he feels about you and how attracted he is to you. The moment he's done with you, you're out on your ass. Nobody's jealous of that. I would never be jealous of a woman who can't stand on her own 2 feet, who don't have her own money in the bank, who don't have nothing going for her. No, nobody's jealous of that. I'm telling you this stuff as a social media influencer or content creator, whatever you want to call it, that it is dumb. It is one of the most dumbest things you will ever do in your life, to sit around and let somebody else take care of you, to sit around and put your health, your life, your livelihood, your future, your retirement, all of that in the hands of a man of all people, a human being in general, but a man? Are you kidding me? That's the dumbest thing you'll ever do. I'm saying it as big sis, as big cousin, favorite cousin, auntie on the well, whatever y'all want to call me. I'm talking to you, and I'm coming to you from that angle. You don't have to listen to me, but just know there's a price to pay when you put your life in the hands of someone else. Even if it's a mom or a dad or a cousin, humans. Putting your life in the hands of humans, imperfect humans at that, will always yield you not so good results. When you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, okay? Like I said before, I'm not victim blaming or shaming that woman, but she is a cautionary tale of what not to do. When you have your own resources, when you have your own money and your own backup plan, you will never have to sit around depending on some man when they switch up on you. You have the resources to get the fuck out of Dodge. And like I said before, I never tell people to never have kids in their whole life. But a lot of times when y'all have babies with these men, y'all complicate your lives like 10 million times worse. Now it's worse. Now these men, when they want to keep you in their life, they're going to do everything in their power to make you miserable. All because you have kids. I said in many videos before, I don't care how much I like a guy or love a guy or care for a guy, I'm never having a baby with a man. Because the one thing I know about life is that life be lifing. And situations end, relationships end, marriages end. And I always knew in the back of my mind that eventually when this relationship ends, I want to be able to walk away free and clear. I don't want no kids hanging in the balance of our failure. I don't want no custody battles, no child support battles. I don't want to deal with none of that shit. The only way I can guarantee that is not going to happen as far as the kid stuff is to not have kids. The only way I can guarantee not to ever be a single mother, guarantee, is to not have kids. The whole marry before you carry shit is bullshit. Mostly every woman I know who got kids are divorced. So now you're, like I said before, you're either going to be a single mom, a married single mom, or a divorced single mom. Take your pick. Or you can choose not to become a mother, and when the relationship ends, you go on about your merry way, no strings attached. But that's just my own view. I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do. I don't care what y'all do. Whatever choices you make, those are your consequences to bear, and got shit to do with me. But a word to the wise: be smart. Like I said too before, I don't know who the hell is having kids in 2024 anyway. Funky Dineva said anybody who's having kids in 2024 is a goddamn fool. He said it, not me, but I agree with him. I'm just saying. I don't know how y'all doing that in this day and age, knowing what kind of world you're bringing them into. But listen, do you. Whatever decision you make as a woman, though, make sure you can stand on your own 2 feet. If that man leaves you, if he starts beating you, if he dies, if he goes to prison, if he goes off to war and never comes back, whatever the situation is, make sure you are good. Make sure you love your kids enough that you would never depend on a man in order to be able to take care of your kids. Because men come and go like the seasons, in the words of Fergie, right? Men come and go like the seasons. So your kids are forever. So if you love your kids like y'all say y'all do, y'all will have a backup plan, an emergency fund, and all that stuff in case things go south. And in my 40 years on this planet, I can almost assure you and guarantee you that sooner or later, the shit is going to go south for one reason or another. And you need to be smart about your life and the life of your kids. I didn't want this video to be this long, but I just had to get it off my chest, okay? I'm going to keep reiterating this stuff until women all around the world, wherever y'all at, because I got subscribers and followers from everywhere in the world, until everybody gets it. Right? Until at least 80% of us get it. Right? I'm going to keep saying this stuff.